Hello, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Josh. I am the Business Development Manager here at Wonks. And today I'm going to be doing a walkthrough on how to navigate Google Looker Studio for e-commerce websites. So please give it a like, give it a subscribe as well, and keep you updated with more of our WebWonk videos. Also, you can feel free to have a look at our other videos that we have as well. So what does it do? Google Looker Studio. So what Google Looker Studio does is it pulls the data from your website, Google Analytics 4, and also your ad campaigns. And it puts it into about a half a dozen easy to read pages for you to understand. It's a user-friendly interactive dashboard with live updates that shapes the way that you see how your customers interact with your website. So let's jump in to our dashboard. Beautiful. Here we go. So here we have our page 1, Google Analytics 4 overview. On this page, you can see an overview of your website's performance for the past 30 days based on traffic, engagement, and leads. In the top right-hand corner over here, you can see a date period where you can modify it yourself, in particular, whatever time period you want to have a look at to compare data. So this can offer you week by week value, month by month value, quarterly value, and even yearly value as well. So here we have under website traffic, we have the total users. So this will be the total users coming to your website in the time period, original users. Brand new. Underneath it, we have sessions as well. So sessions are repeat customers. So people who have come to your website, they've gone away, and then they've come back again. So if your total users and your sessions are around the same amount, this means that the people who are going away are not coming back to your website. Now, especially if you are an e-commerce business, it is very important to have repeat customers coming back to your site. So one thing that you can do, you can look into is remarketing, having a Google campaign for remarketing. So customers and potential, customers coming to your website will, after they go away, your website promotion will follow them around for a bit. It'll entice them, be in the forefront of their minds, and they'll, hopefully come back and have another look at your site. We have audience engagement here, so the average session duration. This is how long a customer is on your website. How much time are they spending on there? Is your website engaging? Is it easy to navigate? Does it keep the customer around for long? And we have the engagement rate here. What we want is the engagement rate. Basically, what this is if a customer is scrolling on your site, be it desktop or mobile, are they scrolling, and are they on there for at least 10 seconds? And what we want with the industry standard, it is around 60%. So that's what we want it to be. And then we have at the bottom as well, how many engaged sessions over the period. Conversions rate, so if you're, especially with dealing with e-commerce, conversions will be sales. So how many sales are we having on your site over the time period? And the total revenue as well. How much money are you making over that time period? User conversion rate here is the percentage between total users and also transactions as well. So what percentage of your total users are actually converting into sales? So one thing, you can have a look at this, like let's say you have a lot of users on there. Let's say out of your users, you only have about, let's say 2%. 2% are actually converting into sales from your users. You can have a look and see, okay, so we have a lot of traffic maybe coming to our site, but not a lot of conversions. Yeah, it'll be interesting to have a look, go back and see why we're having the traffic, that's good, but our conversion rate into transactions, into revenue is not why are they coming to the site, but why are they not making those purchases? Something to look into. And if we scroll down here, we can see a timeline. So with the timeline, what this is, the importance of the timeline, basically over the time period, what we're looking for is trends and spikes. So this gives us day by day viewing of our website, how many users are coming in. And when we look for a spike, it means more users came in on that day or on that day. And what we want to do is we want to go back and have a look. For example, let's have a look. Let's say, you saw a spike. You want to know why did more people come on that day and not others? And then you go and have a look and you see, we actually sent out a promotional email. And a promotional email got sent out, which enticed more customers to have a look at it, clicking on your site, bringing more traffic in. Another one as well, another good indication or another good example is, let's say that you as a business, you've just started doing advertising and you want to see how you're doing with advertising. Is it actually working? What's the performance of it? So what you do is you would have, with the timeline, you go to a couple months before you had advertising until now. And hopefully what you'd want to see is you'd want to see this upward trend. So this upward trend from when you had advertising in place, it's increasing your reach. More people are seeing your advertising and driving traffic to your store. You should see an upward trend over that to know that the advertising is effective. So what I like to call this page is like an instant health check. So you log in to your Google Local Studio dashboard, and it's completely live, completely interactive, up to date report on the performance of your website. So moving on, let's go to demographics. So with demographics, when it loads, here at the top, perfect. Here at the top, you'll see how are the users, what devices are they using to see your site? Is it mobile? Is it desktop? Those two are predominantly the main ones. And so what we can see here over the left-hand side, total users, total amount, and then the percentages of the pie graph, mobile and desktop, the engagement rate as well. One thing that we have noticed is potentially customers like to browse websites on the mobiles. They'll use it for browsing, but when it comes to purchases, especially high ticket items, let's say you say electronics or you sell jewelry, usually, well, what we've seen is that they will go to the desktop and they will purchase it from there due to it being a high ticket item and they feel more secure on the desktop. And then our conversion rates over here, we can see where are our sales coming from? Is it majority, is it predominantly mobiles? Is it predominantly laptop or desktop? And this is extremely important because for you, especially selling as e-commerce, when you're using campaigns and advertising, if you can see that, majority of your sales and transactions are coming from mobile, surely you would skew your advertising towards mobile users. It's also extremely important that you have your website optimized for both platforms, for desktop and mobile. Is it easy to use on mobile? Especially if you have more people, majority of your users on the mobile, how easy to use is your website on the mobile interface? How well is it optimized? So for example, let's say you're a fitness company and you sell fitness products, you sell working gym equipment, and most of your transactions are mobile. So that's where you would focus heavily on your advertising or your resources. And also it helps with your budget allocation as well. Yeah, resources. So scrolling down here, we can see the age range, the age range here of how old, the age demographic of what the users are. who are coming and seeing your site. Extremely important, especially if you are e-commerce, because let's say your demographic is, young adults. You have a look and you could see potentially maybe it's more the older demographic who are seeing your website, and that way, you're not getting as many conversions, or you're missing out on a lot just because the younger demographic, the younger generation who you're focused on aren't seeing your website, and that way you can go and revise and be like, okay, what are we doing wrong? Perhaps when we're doing marketing, we need to get more, market this to the younger generation. Why is it the older demographic who are seeing it? This is not our target demographic. Furthermore, onto the right over here, we can see a breakdown with gender, male, female. Is your demographic more female or male related? Let's say potentially you're a quick fashion, female fashion e-commerce site, and you're selling dresses, skirts, blouses, that kind of thing. But you see that majority of the people who are seeing your site are males. Again, you have this information instead of why is this the case? Obviously, our clients, our customers, our demographic is female, so you can go away and have a look at that. And then if you want to be specific, very specific, you can use filters to segment the data. So you can change that between gender, age, and device category as well. So if you have a very niche, say like male, young, I suppose it'll work with this case with the fashions. If you're with fashion, you're specifically aiming for females in their 20s, 30s, you can do that as well. So it gives you an overall idea of how the performance is going in terms of your site with the demographic. Now let's move on to channels. So with channels, when it loads, it's an overview of traffic on your website, which channels are bringing traffic along with the conversions and leads. So this is what channels are bringing traffic to your website. Is it organically? Is it by social media? Or is it through paid advertising? So which one is performing the best? So you have here 1, 2, however many different channels you have that come to your page, and you'll be able to see at the top here which is bringing the most traffic, new users, the engagement rate as well, which we want it to be around 60%, and conversions. Conversions are sales and the total revenue that it's bringing. So for example, let's say you're doing let's say you're not doing that well organically. You can have a look and see, okay, why are we not doing that well organically? Are there certain keywords we can use? Is our Google business profile up to date? Do we have, what's our website content, especially as e-commerce? Is our website content good? And let's say advertising as well. How effective is your advertising? Is it going towards your correct demographic? Same again as in demographics. Is your paid advertising performing well? If we go down to the bottom left here, we can see percentage of traffic attributed to each channel. So what we can do here, it's a really good comparison tool. We can go from the middle one here is the year to date, and the outer one here. So let's say, for example, your paid advertising, say in the beginning of the year, it was 20%, and now that brought traffic to the channel. And now let's say currently with the time period you're looking at, it's around 30%. So it's increased by 10%. So you'll look at that and be like, right, what are we doing differently? Advertising from beginning year to date to now for it to increase by 10%. Just gives you those measures, those insights. And here as well, we can have a look and we can compare the both of them. So your paid sessions over here, your engagement rate, again, you want that to be around 60%, paid transactions and paid revenue. So how effectively are your advertising doing, and how effective is your organic below? Same funnel here. Let's move on to pages. Speaking of funnels, this page gives you an idea of your lead funnel. So it gives you an insight to the natural roadmap of your customers. What I like to say is you want an omni-channel approach. You don't just want to have one page on your website that's great, and then customers drop off after that because that's the only good page that you have. So the page in play, the pages that you want all the pages to come into play to complete the transaction. So this is where we're getting new users to engage. First they'll come to the homepage, and you can see the journey that they're taking in order to finish the transaction, making the sale for you. So usually, let's say typically they go to the homepage, they'll browse whatever category they're looking at on your website, especially being e-commerce. Let's say let's go back to women's fashion, dresses. They're searching for skirts, and then they add that to the cart as well. Once they finish, they go to the cart, check out. So you get to see the journey they're taking. So you can see that here, the page path, how many views they're having. Obviously, the homepage will have the most views. That's where they come to usually on your site. And so you want to see, particularly, let's say you're having a lot of views on a particular category on your website. And if you want to improve that as well, think, oh, great, this is, let's get even more people coming to the site. You can do advertising for that page, for that promotion, for that category. We also have events per session as well. So this is, adding items to the cart, going to checkout, and the engagement rate, which we've spoken about. In the top left here, we can have a more specific approach where you can segment and filter specific pages. So maybe there are some pages on your website which aren't performing. And maybe they're having no views or minimal views, and then just no engagement whatsoever. Is it worth keeping those pages on your website, or is it's something we can look at and improve them, do a bit more work on them to improve the content of those pages? And then we have a general overview of all of your pages in total on your website here. Let's move on to conversions and events. Once it loads. So here we have conversions and events page. And this is how effective is your website, or how effective is your reach in a particular city or town? Do you have a certain target city or town that you're interested in, or that you're focused on? For example, let's say you ship domestically throughout New Zealand. What is your reach in the cities and towns around New Zealand? So then you get an idea of where's the traffic coming from. Let's say you're in Auckland and you're getting traffic from Christchurch, Wellington, Queenstown. Perfect. Maybe you can increase the advertising there as well, get more traffic coming to your site, more orders online, and you can ship it out to them. However, on the flip side as well, vice versa, let's say you're getting traffic from Australia. You don't ship to Australia, but still they're seeing your advertising, potentially clicking on it, which is costing you money. So you can also remove those cities and towns from your advertising to help with costs as well, and to decrease the unwanted traffic coming to your site. On the right here, you can also see what I was saying a bit before in pages, the pages on your website which are getting the most most events. And so, for example, we'll have search results, categories, payment information, cart, checkout. And on the right here, we can see the event count, which is the most popular. And what's really handy is the percentage change. Let's say you've done some work on a page, you want to see how well it's doing compared to when you've done it before. So you have the time period, compare them both, and you can see the percent change over that time period. Has it gone up? Has it gone down? Indicated by the red and the green ink. And over here we have a general overview of all of this information in total, how many transactions you had, cart to view rate, purchase to view rate, total revenue as well for the time period that you're looking at. Let's go to Google Product Insights. So Product Insights. This is probably one of my favorite pages of the entire Google Studio dashboard because it really breaks down what your customers are looking at on your site. So let's have a look. So for example, let's say you're in electronics, right? You sell electronics online, e-commerce. And you can have a look at the items viewed here. So let's say you have a TV, right? Let's say you have a big percentage of TVs being looked at. But then when you go and see items added to the basket, it's actually gaming consoles that are added to the basket, and then items purchased at gaming consoles as well. So one thing that you want to have a look at here is why are so many TVs viewed but not added to the basket? So one thing that you can look at is potentially they're looking at the TVs, they're interested in them, but then they go away and they have a look at other businesses who are selling the same TVs. Potentially they're selling them cheaper. You know, they're getting a better deal, and so they're not purchasing. So that's something you can look at, something you can reflect on. Have a look at your competition, see what they're selling the exact same TVs for. Potentially you can price match, make it cheaper as well, and we can start turning those items viewed, since it's a lot of them viewed, into adding to basket, into purchase, which increases your sales. If you want to be very specific as well, you can even go to item category, and we can solely just do TVs. And that gives you an information of just the TVs viewed and purchased as well. It'll also give you, if you click on TVs, it'll give you a category of all of your TVs down here and under the item name. And you'll be able to see which is the most popular TV that you have for sale. This is just one example. Again, it works with all other items that you are selling. And here we have an overview of the entire items that you have for sale, viewed, added to cart as well. Of course, below we have percentages changes. Green is up, red is decreased from the last time period you're looking at. Items checked out, items purchased, items revenue. So it really gives you a good breakdown. Let's say as well, you're seeing that you're not having a particular amount of, let's say you have a lot of stock with one thing as well, and you're seeing that it's being viewed, not purchased. You can do advertising for it, promotions, that kind of thing. So add the interest in it for it to be added to the basket and purchased. Moving on to Google Search Console. So for this page, we have an overview of the organic visibility of your website. This is how the organic channel traffic originates for your website. So what we have here, this is a whole, you'll have down the left here, queries. So queries are what your customers and what the users are entering the keywords into Google, and those keywords, what are they entering, which brings up your site. So number one here, let's say, for example, let's say you sell furniture, outdoor furniture. So let's say somebody types in outdoor furniture store or outdoor furniture online. And what you'll see is, does your website come up for them? And if it does, you can see here the average position. So this is the organic ranking on Google. So when they enter in the search, whereabouts is yours coming up in terms of this keyword search? How many clicks are you getting based on this? Based on the search to your website, is it effective? And also, how many impressions? So when they enter this keywords and your website comes up, can they see it? Is it visible? That's an impression right there. And we have percentage as well. Same as before. How effective is this keyword? Is it being searched more often? For example, closer to Christmas, you'll see a lot more keywords pop up in terms of Christmas shopping, maybe outdoor furniture, Christmas sale, that kind of thing. That'll pop up a lot more. What you can also do is you can really elaborate and solely look at outdoor furniture or And this will only show queries that says outdoor furniture. So one thing you can do, let's say, for example, you spent with this page. Let's say you spent the last 6 months with someone working in your SEO. And as you would expect, you'd expect to see the ranking for the keywords that you provided to increase while implementing your SEO strategy. And here on your page, you can see the growth in your average position, whether or not the keyword is showing in your website, or whether or not it's it's bringing traffic to your site, which is why So let's say for example, what I was saying, outdoor furniture. You'd say, great, outdoor furniture, New Zealand. That's one of my keywords. Let's see how well it's done. So you might want to actually have a look at the value of those last 6 months where you've been working with this person with SEO and see how much value you've actually gained from that, where you can see clearly on this page. So another way is what we can do as well to improve the keywords organically. You can include the words that represent your business in your Google business profile. Also improve, I should say, your website content. Use these keywords in your website. Do you have a blog? Add these keywords in your blog. This all helps with your organic ranking and how Google sees your website. Also, organically can take a bit of fair time to ramp up. So potentially you would want to do a search campaign where you would see these top keywords that you can see are performing well, and you add them into your campaign. And you can add them into your campaign, and you can see, improve the ranking of your website coming up when users are having a look at it when they're Googling it. Yeah. Perfect. Let's move on to Google Ads overview. This is perhaps one of the most important pages as well. It's all about your money. Where is your money going? This page is primarily used to see the growth trends for your efforts. The value here is understanding your return on investment. Wait for it to load. As an absolute baseline for every dollar on advertising spent, you would want at least 1 to 3 return on ad spend. So what this page represents and what it shows is how much is your cost per lead. I'll start with the bottom here actually while it loads. So what we can see here is all the different campaigns that you are running. And what you can see is you have however many campaigns you are running numbered. You can see the performance of these campaigns. How many impressions are your adverts? How many customers and users are seeing your advertising? How many are clicking through to your website based on this advert? And also, how much are these advertising costs? And what is your return on this? How much revenue is it bringing through here and there? This is extremely important because if you can see that an advert, one of your campaigns are performing extremely well, and it's bringing in a lot of traffic to your site, bringing in a lot of return, a lot of sales, potentially you can double the investment into that campaign, doubling your leads as well. Vice versa, let's say you have a campaign that's not doing that great, it's not having a lot of impressions, not many clicks, not bringing a lot of traffic to your website. Potentially it's time to rein back that campaign, or even axe it all together. It might not be doing the job that you want it to do. It might be time to reflect and try a different strategy. So here we have here. So this gives you an overview of how many clicks for all of your campaigns, how many impressions, and the cost as well. And over in the top left, we can specify which one you want, which comes up on this timeline here. So this is a very important channel where it shows the return on investment, where your money is going to. Is there any money leaking? Anything that's not performing for you to go back and review your marketing strategy? Which advertising is going well? Should you invest more in it? Yeah. very important page. So that is a walkthrough of Google Looker Studio. I hope you found the navigation educational. Primarily, this video is for our Wonks clients who have already completed a data health kit. If you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to your project manager for help. However, if you're not currently with us and you are interested, this video has interested you, please feel free to check out our website at www.webwonks.com. And one of our team members will get in touch with you and we can potentially set up a meeting. Hopefully you found this walkthrough educational and took some value from it. I would really appreciate it if you did give it a thumbs up and press the subscribe button. And if you have any questions or anything, comments you want to say, leave a comment in the section down below. See you all in the next video, and I hope you have a fantastic day.